The Global Sport Institute is a research institute. We organize ourselves around a different theme each year. Our current theme is sex, gender, and sexuality in sport. We started this SEED grant program for a couple of reasons. One, we wanted to engage the campus. So we wanted to have that expanded research that we can draw from as an institute, but also disseminate to the world. We wanted to encourage scholars who hadn't studied sport before to study sport. So it's far deeper than any one research lab could do. We can call upon scholars in our university and in global partners to speak upon those critical issues that we all need to look at.
We want to push the envelope. We want to think in ways we've never thought before. Engineering, health and nutrition, social sciences, humanities, art, fashion, history, and so much more.
We invite those who are interested to not only look at the current theme year, but to go back, to look at the future of sport and what might be going on now, to look at race and sport around the globe, to look at sport in the body. We're pulling them all together and hoping to create greater intersectionality, deeper understanding of the world of sport. In our 3 years, we have given over $1.1 million in awards to over 50 SEED grant awardees. Here are our SEED grantees for our theme, Sex, Gender, and Sexuality in Sport.
In this study, we explore the many ways trans and gender nonconforming, or TGNC, athletes story their sense of gender in the context of sport organizing.
We plan on recruiting 20 to 30 self-identified TGNC athletes and collect stories about these athletes' experiences of belonging and empowerment in sport contexts.
Our project focuses on the use of non-invasive brain stimulation as a means to enhance motor performance, and how the effect may differ between males and females.
I'm mostly interested in wrist-worn wearables, and the technology I'm developing for this project combines camera and motion sensors in a unique way to get at data that we've never had access before in sports performance.
The project I'm working on is 50 interviews, video interviews, and still portraits of 50 women, girls, and trans men who have had the experience of playing on an all-boys team. People who have been the only girl on the team.
Sport is beautiful and uniting. In motor control research, we see how in sports, the brain and the body unites beautifully to achieve performance. In the bigger picture, sport also unites different people and different minds.
The purpose of my research is to understand the impact of indoor lighting environment on physical training performance, focusing on the sex difference, and to develop an optimum lighting prediction model through human physiological signals so that the sex-specific training environment can be established.
We're going to be looking at how participation in recreational sport activities can shape and then hopefully empower individuals' views and perceptions of their own gender, body image, and sexuality.
We're hoping to take a look at the history of sport over time and look at the ways that different populations were either included or excluded from sport, from women to people of color to LGBTQ folks, and now of course trans youth, and see how the same logic and same rhetoric was used to either deny or accept people into the sport arena at any level, whether that's a rec league, a professional league, a K-12 setting.
I've been able to continue with the research side of my interest in roller derby. I think it has just so much to share with us about how sex, gender, and sexuality in an amateur sport and a DIY sport has had a different ability to investigate itself, grow, and incorporate athletes who haven't always found a home in other sports. So I'm interested in telling the story of race, gender, class, age, all of the ways that sports have meaning in American culture through the lens of roller derby and its long history in book form.
One important research goal in our lab is to understand neuromuscular mechanisms during various physical activities and translate this knowledge to the design of wearable devices that can help maximize performance and minimize risk of injury during various sports activities.
The long-term purpose of this project is to address the current wave of exclusionary sports policies and practices aimed at youth who live beyond or who challenge the limits of the gender binary.
I'm excited to expand my work on the culture industry into the sports sector and to capture the experiences of Black women across the gender spectrum throughout various aspects of the sports industry.
In this project, we will be looking at gender differences both within the athletic community and the military veteran community as it relates to injury outcomes.
Design sport goods, we manufacture protective equipment, for example, some foam and helmet structures, so that it will prevent the athletes from impact.
My passion is the development and deployment of technologies from the lab into the real world. We focus on improving scientific knowledge of fitness for sports in transgendered individuals.
I plan to doing research in the knee brace manufacturing. A well-designed knee brace may be able to reduce this possibility by reducing the strain at ACL and limit the rotation motion in the knee.
Our goal is to look at the stories of transgender individuals and their experience with sport, how it impacted their lives, whether or not they were able to play or unable to play, and how that intersects with their transgender identity.
We're interested in looking at people that they consume smaller amount of water compared to the dietary guidelines.
We plan to continue our research in the field of soft robotic wearable devices and study how we could reduce sport-related injuries using this technology. On the other hand, we will also collaborate with our medical partners to study how we could use this as a rehabilitation device to help with patients with neurological impairments.
Follow the work of our Sea Grant awardees and the Global Sport Lab. There are countless conversations to be had around sex, gender, and sexuality in sport.
Understanding
sport matters.